Gotta make a move to a town that's right for me. Da na 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 na. Hi everyone, it's Lori. Today I'm going to do the 80s tag. I was tagged by Judy, MABQ22, to do this tag, and I usually don't do them, but I loved the 80s, so I am definitely doing this tag. Alright, so there's a couple questions. What's your favorite 80s movie, your favorite 80s TV shows, your favorite 80s artist, your favorite look, and your favorite year between 80 and 89? I couldn't come up with just one for all these, so I'm just you'll get a really good picture of me and the 80s. And I just love the 80s. I turned 20 in 1983, so I was like, you know, I was in my 20s in the 80s, and it was a great, great time. Oh my God. Okay. Some of my favorite movies were The Breakfast Club. I liked that whole, I forget what they're called, that whole group. You know, Demi Moore, Emilio Estevez, that whole crew, Rob Lowe. So I definitely loved The Breakfast Club. I liked the movie Back to the Future, Dirty Dancing. I still watch that movie every time it comes on. Valley Girl. Oh my God, loved that movie with Nicolas Cage. I can't believe that was Nicolas Cage. When Harry Met Sally. And then my all-time favorite was Flashdance. And I wore my sweatshirts like every other 80s girl with the neck cut off and it hanging off one shoulder. Oh my God, that movie was so great when she ate the lobster. Didn't everybody just love that? Like, you wanted lobster. You really wanted lobster. And I was really into dancing like I am now, so yeah, loved the movie Flashdance. That was probably my favorite #1 movie. Favorite TV shows. I watched Alice, which if that came on as a rerun now, I would not watch it, but I loved that show. Oh, Mary Hartman, Mary Hartman. That might have been in the 70s. Yeah, that was in the 70s. Never mind. Cosby. Love that show. I still love that show. I watch that a lot when it's in reruns. The Love Boat. I haven't changed. I still like cruises. Loved watching The Love Boat. Roseanne, which I still watch a lot. And then my favorite was One Day at a Time, because Valerie Bertinelli, who I loved, was on it, and she was a little bit older than me at the time. And I don't know, I loved it. Now, if you watch those shows, it's like the acting is just horrible. Did we think the acting was horrible back then? I don't know. I didn't really get into General Hospital. I've always been a Days of Our Lives girl. So, but you know, the whole Luke and Laura wedding thing, I remember I was like a freshman in college and everybody like gathered in front of the TV to watch that. What else? I wasn't into Dallas. I wasn't into Dynasty. I was into Dallas more than Dynasty, but you know, if I watched anything, but I didn't watch Dynasty. I watched Knots Landing. Loved Knots Landing. Okay. My favorite artist. I loved Cheap Trick. That was the first concert that I was supposed to go to, and then I think I ended up getting sick or something, so I didn't end up going, but that was like the first concert I was ever supposed to go to. Casey and the Sunshine Band. I still have some of their songs on my iPod, and they're like some of my favorite songs. Anything by Queen. I loved Queen. The song Funky Town, remember that? Yeah. Loved that song. And then my two favorite artists, well, no. Okay, I'm going to say my favorite artist for 1 second. I loved REO Speedwagon. There was a particular song, and my boyfriend Dennis and I, that was our song. And we used to listen to it over and over again. And loved REO Speedwagon. But my favorite artist was Madonna. And in fact, Madonna, she used to wear like these rubber bracelets, and I went out and they weren't popular at all. And I had to find a rubber bracelet, like a bunch of rubber bracelets. And so I remember going to an automotive repair place and asking for a rubber gasket, because I think that's what they were called, or a rubber O-ring that could fit my wrist. And the guy was like, looked at me like I was crazy. And then it became all the rage, and everybody went out and, you know, you could buy them at the mall, those rubber bracelets. But I loved Madonna. I've only been to one Madonna concert. But she's amazing. I think she's a brilliant artist, a brilliant businesswoman in general. Oh, sorry. Oh, I have to go back. My favorite TV show. It wasn't Wait One Day at a Time. That was up there. 30-something. I loved that show. Oh, I was so heartbroken when that got canceled. Loved that show. Oh, God. Mike, remember his name was Michael, and what was her name? Faith? Paige? Oh my God, I wanted to grow up and be just like them. Okay, my favorite look. Okay, this is how I dressed. I wore the jeans that were all pleated in the front and then came down to a peg leg, and then sometimes they had a high waist with like 3 extra buttons, and then you could turn the waist over. I wore double belts, you know, the thin double belt that you would wrap around twice, and the first wrap would be kind of close to your body and the next one would hang. Or chain belts with the little baubles hanging off of them. I wore a lot of chain belts. I also wore mismatched earrings, like really big crystals with like plastic pieces, and one would have a triangle and the other one would be short, like what else did I was still into lip gloss and all that stuff. Feathered hair, loved the feathered hair, or the big hair. Okay, no, in the 80s I had big hair, but I also had really short spiky hair that I would straighten so that it all stuck straight up, all of it straight up. And also big hair. So I had the big hair. Feathers were in the 70s. Sorry, I'm getting my 70s. You know, like 79. What else? Oh, so I had it really short on the sides and then all spiked up. You know, you would tip your head over and spray some kind of like super hold, Aquanet, like super duper hold, and then you'd come up and it would all be sticking up. I actually got married to my first husband in the 80s. That was 1985. And I remember when he proposed what I was wearing. I was wearing a pair of black pleated pants that had that fold over top, and a yellow and black like checkered shirt that had a big puffy sleeve, and I wore the collar up. And then I had on rhinestones. I wore a lot of rhinestones. So I would go like antiquing, or I'd go to flea markets and get rhinestone bracelets, and or a rhinestone necklace. And when I met him, there's a picture of me, our first date, what I wore. I wore a white, okay, it was a dress. It was a white cotton dress, just a regular like scoop neck. And it came to like here, the sleeve, and it was a uneven, like fluttery sleeve, but it was cotton, so it, you know, it held a shape. Oh, and it came to a V, not a low V or anything, but a V. Then the waist was elasticized, and you could blouson, you could blouse it up, and the bottom hem came to a point in the front and a point in the back, and it was up higher on the sides. Then I wore a big chunky red, like lucite necklace with big chunky red earrings, and fishnet ankle socks in red, no, in white, yeah, fishnet ankle socks in white, and red open-toed pumps. And I looked, oh, and my double red belt. I looked so good. I still have that picture somewhere. I think it's at my mother's house. I looked good. He said everyone in the club was looking at me. They were probably looking at me because I was a freak. But no, I was really very in style. I'm like cracking up just thinking about that look. Oh, and shoulder pads. I had the double shoulder pads, the Norma Kamali like shoulder pads. I used to double them up or get the extra thick ones, and they would hook onto your bra straps. And the thing about that was, if you ever gotten dressed in front of somebody, you looked like an absolute moron, because onto your bra you had these like shoulder pads, and then they came out with the ones that were like stuck to your clothes. They were like spongy, so they stuck to your clothes rather than like hooked around your bra strap. Oh my God, I loved my shoulder pads. I loved my shoulder pads. And my favorite year, 1980 through 89, I don't know. Like in 81, I graduated from high school. In 85, I graduated from college and got married. So, and then in 86, I got divorced. I don't know. I don't have one particular favorite year. I mean, 80, 89, 87, everything's like a blur. Nothing big happened then. So I'd have to say 81, because that's the year I graduated high school, and, you know, and I had my boyfriend who I was so in love with. And he totally broke my heart, broke up with me to see other people. And the girl that he broke up with me to see, he married. And he's still married to her. And he was the love of my life. He was. Okay, so who am I gonna tag? Let's see. I tag Azita from Beauty Chapters. I tag Carol from Bev Hills 1. I better write this down so that I remember. Azita, Carol, Gina from Citrus Hearted. Were you even alive in the 80s? Donna Shorts 1, but she probably won't do it, but I'm going to tag her anyways. Lana, Seattle. Definitely want to tag her. Oh my God, I have to hear what this one has to say. Nicola Maria. She's going to be hysterical. Nicola. Okay, got to hear from Shawnee. Shawnee's Pretty in Ink. I want to hear from Susie Joey also. So Susie Joey 1. Susie Joey 1. And that's it. So all you lovely girls are tagged. I hope you guys enjoyed my I Love the 80s, because I did. I want pleated pants and shoulder pads to come back in a big way. That would be awesome. That would really thrill me. Thank you for watching. Bye.